All right, everybody, welcome back. Thanks for watching. If you want to know what is Irish whiskey, as well as the difference between Irish whiskey and American whiskey, I'm going to cover that right now. What I would do is recommend you go to Whiskey Advocate because they have a great write-up on Irish whiskey. I'll go ahead and pop up the graphic here, but in case you're listening on your phone, let me go ahead and read it to you. So specifically, the main things you need to be concerned about with Irish whiskey is that it has to be made, distilled, and aged in Ireland for a minimum of 3 years. It has to be bottled at no less than 40% ABV. That's 80 proof. Irish whiskey is made from a mash of malted barley, and it can't be distilled to any more than 94.8%. Also, they're not allowed to add anything other than caramel coloring, and finally, it has to retain the characteristics of its raw materials. In other words, smell and taste like whiskey. Okay, so first thing is that Irish whiskey, American whiskey, they're made in different places. Second thing, I guess, has to do with the grain. So keep that in mind. So whereas your American whiskeys are going to be made with either corn or rye primarily, your Irish whiskey is going to be made primarily with like malted barley. With the mash and the distillation proof, the Irish whiskey is going to be a little bit softer and more approachable, just because the initial spirit that's aged is going to be at a lower ABV to begin with. Second of all, the difference between corn and malted barley is going to tell you that the Irish whiskey is going to be not as sweet. That malted barley is going to give you more of a earthy note. The other thing I talk about is age. So Irish whiskey has to be aged for a minimum of 3 years. There is no minimum aging required for American whiskey. What does the age do? The age mellows out the spirit. So in general, the older something is, the smoother it's going to be. In general, right? Because of all those factors, it's going in the barrel at a lower proof. It's aged for a longer time. Your Irish whiskey is going to be a softer, more approachable spirit than American whiskey just to begin with. So that's what I would say is the main differences between Irish whiskey and American whiskey.